In early spring of 2014, I flew from Michigan to Chalfont, Pennsylvania to be an artist in residence at the Pleasantville United Church of Christ. We'd begun planning the project months before with phone conferences and a great number of emails back and forth, getting a feel for what sort of plan would work for their special Lenten art project. Eventually, I sent the design team 5 or 6 projects to consider, expecting them to choose only one, but in the end they chose 2 very different projects. For the adults, a cut paper banner project, and for the children, a colorful butterfly project. We began our cut paper banner project by exploring the craft of Scherenschnitt, a scissor cutting technique brought to this country by German families who came to Pennsylvania in the 18th and 19th centuries. It would have been fun to spend more time on this, but everyone was so eager to get working on the banners, we really ended up only having a time to make just a few Scherenschnitt snowflakes. Here's a little background on Pleasantville United Church of Christ. It was founded in the 1850s in what is still a remarkably rural area on the outskirts of Philadelphia. They still use their century-old stone chapel, but several years ago they built a new sanctuary based on the design of the old one to accommodate their growing congregation. Like the old sanctuary, the new sanctuary has a beautiful Good Shepherd stained glass window behind the altar, but the walls on either side are large and blank. The banner project would fill the blank walls while also engaging the congregation in producing art and using that art project to develop themes around the season of Lent. The theme for the banners was from the great text from the book of Micah. God has told you, O mortal, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you, but to do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God. The banners are large, 10 feet wide by almost 8 feet long, and constructed in 3 sections, each about 40 inches wide. I create the design on the computer and print it out, in this case about 120 sheets of paper, which I tape together to make a pattern. This is laid over the banner paper, and once everything is assembled, the cutting begins using utility knives. Initially, I was worried there wouldn't be time over the 40-some days of Lent to finish all 4 banners. We actually cut the borders of 2 banners at once to begin with, but as it turned out, people worked continually all through the week, and the work progressed so quickly that we had to consciously slow it down so that we could stretch it out over the season of Lent. I especially enjoyed designing the calligraphy for these banners, finding the right font, and arranging the words of this verse from the prophet Micah so that the meaning of each word was developed, while maintaining a pleasing design, was a delightful challenge. The cutting of the banners was an enjoyable communal event for the people involved. There was a nice back and forth of conversation over the 3 tables as we worked together. But my hope is that in addition to the awesome connections we made with each other, that people took time to think about these powerful words as they were cutting them out. One challenge we faced was putting a white paper banner on a white pole. Well, the solution was to place a colored fabric behind the banner. For Lent, we decided on gold. However, a trip to several fabric stores left us at a loss when we couldn't find the right color. In the end, we purchased muslin and dyed it ourselves in batches on the church's kitchen stove. The hanging of the first banner went remarkably smoothly. I was very happy. Sadly, though, I wasn't there to see the other 3 banners go up, one at a time, over the rest of Lent. The Butterfly Project. This was designed for the children of the congregation. Explaining Lent and Easter, the significance of the resurrection, is difficult enough for adults. For the children, I wanted to express the idea of using Lent as a time of contemplation. We explained that we are all like caterpillars during Lent, quiet and hopefully changing into something new. Then on Easter we put on our best clothes and go to church, expressing how we are newly made inside and out as a result of our time of quiet thoughtfulness. The butterflies were a simple ink blot monoprint made with a mixture of paint and glue applied to clear mylar. I was happily surprised at how this simple project appealed not only to the young, but to the young at heart as well. After the butterflies were painted, cut out, and the details added with Sharpie markers, they were rolled up to simulate cocoons and hung from the ceiling in the entry and hall by the new sanctuary. Then on Easter morning they were unrolled to reveal the colorful butterflies. Again, I wasn't there to see, but I can imagine them swaying rather gently as currents of air moved around them. Words cannot express how wonderful an experience this was for me, both as an artist and as a Christian. The opportunity to dwell in the powerful text of Micah 6, verse 8 enriched my life, and I will never forget the people of this congregation, their kindness and hospitality to me, their dedication to this project, their helpfulness and hard work. Blessings on all of you. I miss you all.